Hey guys, and welcome back to another tier list video. Today we're listing all the CSGO cases. Now, I made a previous video about ranking all the collections, and if you haven't seen that, you can check it out in the top right corner. But I haven't released it yet, so I don't know if you guys enjoyed this video or not. So hopefully this is not a bad idea that I'm repeating it. But yeah, so we're going to be ranking all of the CSGO cases today. And I'm also going to open some S tier cases at the end. So there is definitely something to keep watching for.
Are you looking for low float skins for trade-ups? Check out today's sponsor, SkinsMonkey. It's a very convenient trading bot site that charges no overpay for floats. I found these two 0.01 consumer skins and used code TechSavvy for a 35% deposit bonus when depositing and got the tradable skins instantly. Oh, and did I mention that if you're new to the site, you get a $5 bonus to trade with? You do have to trade to activate it, but it's a little bit of extra. But don't worry if you don't have any skins. The site's always running at least 3 giveaways, so there's definitely something for you as well. So check out SkinsMonkey through my link in the description and the pinned comment.
Alright, so let's jump right in, starting off with the Gamma 2 collection. So of course the Gamma 2 collection has the Gamma knives, which is pretty cool. It's the OG knives with Gamma finishes like the Lore, the Autotronic, and the Gamma Doppler. It also has the Neon Revolution and the Roll Cage. The knives are pretty good. The skins kinda suck, so I'm gonna put it in the OK tier. Next up, we have the Chroma 3 collection. These, of course, have the Chroma knives. So that's going to be like the Karambit Doppler, Karambit Tiger Tooth, M9 Doppler, M9 Tiger Tooth. So the knives are really good. This case also has the Shantikos Fire, which is pretty decent. The P250 Asimov. So I think I'm going to put this slightly above the previous case, so it's going to go into the decent category. Next up, the Prisma 1 case. It has the Prisma knives, which kind of suck. They're not the worst. The Ursus is pretty good. The Talon's pretty good. And these skins aren't that great. There is the M4A for the Emperor and also the Apophis. So because of the skins and some of the knives, I'm going to put it into decent. Next up, the Falchion collection. Now, knives absolutely suck. However, it does have two pretty sick reds. It has the AK Aquamarine Revenge and the Op Hyper Beast. So those skins are going to pull it up to mid, but that's pretty much as high as it can go. Next up, the Horizon collection. Again, it has pretty bad knives. So like the best knives in this case are going to be the Talon Slaughter, Talon Fade, Ursus Fade. So like it's not the worst. These skins are pretty okay. Like there's the AK Neon Rider. So I'm going to put this in okay, and actually I'm going to demote the Prisma 1 case to okay as well, because the knives in this case are actually about the same as in the Prisma case, but the skins aren't that much better. So yeah, next up we have the Hydra case. So this is a really expensive case. It has the Op Onitaiji. It has amazing gloves. It has Pandora's Box's gloves. So yeah, this is going straight into the great tier. It's not quite stonks, but it's pretty great. Next up we have the Spectrum 1 collection. Amazing knives, Butterfly Sapphire, and pretty good reds with the AK Bloodsport and the USP Neo Noir. It also has the M4 Decimator and the Op Fever Dream, so this is going straight into the stonks tier. Next up, the Wildfire case. It has Bowie knives, which I personally like Bowie knives, at least for the price. And it also has the AK Fuel Injector and the Desert Eagle Kamicho Dragon, but that's about all it's got going for it. So I'm thinking between okay and decent. I'm kind of going to leave it like in the middle for now, and then I'll decide based on what else is going to go into the different collections. Next up, the Shattered Web case. It has pretty good knives. Obviously, it has the Shattered Web knives. So it has the Skeleton Fade, which is the best knife from the collection. It also has the Op Containment Breach, but the rest of the skins kind of suck. So I'm going to put this one in the okay tier, right next to the Horizon case. Alright, next up, CSGO Weapon Case 2. Now, this one is actually one of the most profitable cases, and it has been for a while. It has the OG knives, so it could have the $1 million Karambit in it. It has the 5.7 case hardened Blue Gem. It has a bunch of good float cap purples, so it's pretty good for trade-ups. So I think this deserves a stonks tier. And I also kind of want to open one, so, you know. Alright, next up, the Winter Esports 2013-2014 case. This case sucks. Goes straight into the WTF tier. There's nothing good. The best thing is pretty much... You know what? I was a bit harsh. There is the Cobalt Disruption in this case, and the knives are also the OG knives, so it could have the $1,000,000 Karambit. So I'm going to put it into the meh tier, but the rest of the skins absolutely suck. Next up, we have the Chroma case. So again, it has the Chroma knives, so it has really good knives like the Flip Knife Marble Fade, the M9 Doppler, and M9 Tiger Tooth. However, the skins kinda suck in it. The best skin is probably the Dragon King or the Man of War. So because the knives are great, but the skins kinda suck, I'm gonna put it in the OK tier. So because there's so many cases already in the OK tier, I think I'm gonna move the Wildfire up into decent. Alright, next up we have the Operation Breakout case. Now you guys already know what this has in it. It has all the butterflies with the OG finishes, so like you could get a Butterfly Fade or a Stat Track Factory in your Crimson Web. However, the skins absolutely suck. And it's really expensive. And this is, I believe, one of the least profitable cases to open. And because of that, I mean, it does have the butterflies, but I don't think it's going to pull it above anything more than a mid. A lot of people are going to disagree with me. I am a fan of butterflies, but the case as a whole is not that great. Next up, the Operation Riptide case. So this case has amazing knives. It has the Butterfly Emerald. I mean, green is my favorite color, so I am kind of biased here. But it also has some, I guess, decent skins. Like the Ocean Drive is pretty good. I'm not a big fan of the AK Elite Museo, but the Snack Attack and the Turbo Peak are pretty good, so I think I'm going to put this in the decent category. Next up, we have the Vanguard case. Now, it does have some pretty cool knives. So it has the OG knife finishes, so it could have the $1,000,000 Karambit, but the skins are just not there. Like, the coolest thing is the AK Wasteland Rebel, which is, it's not that cool, so this is going to have to get a meh tier from me. The only reason it doesn't get the WTF tier is because it has the amazing knives. Next up, the Esports 2013. So again, it has the amazing knives. However, the skins absolutely suck. Like the Op Boom is cool, but that's it. So I'm sorry, I know it has the $1,000,000 Karambit in it, but this one is just gonna have to go into the WTF tier just because of the price of the case. It's like, I don't even know how much it is. It's like 40 bucks or something. It's so bad. Alright, next up we have the Spectrum 2 case. Again, Spectrum knives, so pretty good knives. It also has the AK Empress, and that's about it for the good skins, I guess. But I think this case is pretty decent because it has good knives. I'm a fan of the Empress, so I'll put it in the decent tier. Alright, next up we have the Phoenix case. Phoenix case, again, has the OG knives, so that's something going for it. It has the Op Asimov, and it has the AK Redline, and it also has some pretty good purples like the USP Guardian and the MAC-10 Heat. So I'm going to have to put this case into the Stonks tier. Next up, the Winter Offensive case. Again, has the OG knives, and it also has the M4 Asimov and the Op Redline, as well as the M4A1 as Guardian. I don't think it's quite as good as the Phoenix case, but it's still a really good case, so I'm going to put it into the great category. Next up, we have the Gamma case, of course, with the Gamma knives. So this has stuff like the M9 Emerald and the Gut Knife Autotronic, which are pretty good. It also has the M4A1S Mecha Industries and the M4 Desolate Space. So like, it's got decent skins and it's got decent knives, so I'm going to put it in the decent tier. Next up, we have the glove case. Skins absolutely suck. The gloves are pretty good though. So again, it has the Pandora's boxes, and it has like the Hedge Mazes and the Crimson Kimonos. So those definitely, the gloves definitely save it. It's not as good as the Hydra case with pretty much the same gloves, so I'm going to put it in the decent tier. Alright, next up, the Clutch case. So the Clutch case has Vice gloves in it, so that's definitely going to be something going for it. However, apart from the M4 Neo Noir, all the skins suck. So it's only going to get an okay from me, and that's pretty much just because of the Vice gloves. Next up, we got the Chroma 2 case with the Chroma knives. So again, that's like M9 Sapphire, stuff like that. It also has the M4 Hyper Beast, and the rest of the skins are kind of meh. It has the AK Elite build, which is pretty good. So I think this is also going to go into the okay tier. It's slightly better than the Clutch in my opinion, but it's nothing super amazing. Next up, the Snakebite case. So I'm a pretty big fan of the Snakebite case, at least the skins. I like the USP. I don't hate the M4 as much as other people do. However, the gloves in this case are really, really disappointing. And I'm going to have to give this one a mid. Next up, the CS20 case. It has my personal favorite op, at least for its price, the Wildfire. It also has classic knives, which I think are pretty decent. And it also has a bunch of different cool looking skins like the MP9 Hydra. So I'm a fan of this case. I'm going to put it in the great category. It also looks a lot more shiny than the rest of the cases. Not sure why that's the case, but apparently it is. Alright, next up we have the Huntsman case. Now the Huntsman case is an infamous case because this is the one that had the Howl. However, now it has the Desert Strike, so it kinda sucks. It also only has Huntsman knives. However, it does have the USP Orion and the M4A1S Atomic Alloy. So those are definitely going to save it a bit, but I can't give it anything more than a mid. Next up, we have the Summer 2014 case. Now this thing has pretty much one thing going for it only, and that is the Desert Eagle Crimson Web. But it also has some pretty good knives, so it's going to be higher than a Met here, but it's not going to be more than a mid. Alright, next up we have the Arms Deal 3 case. This only has pistols, but it does have the best knives in my opinion. The Karambit, $1 million Karambit of course. But it's going to have to go on the Met here, just because the skins kind of suck. There's like nothing good. Next up, the Prisma 2 case. It has pretty good skins, not great knives. So I think I'm going to put it in the OK tier. There's a lot of cases in the OK tier, and you can't see some of the logos. Like, what even is that? That's the Horizon case. So it's kind of congested, but a lot of cases are, I guess, just okay. And next up, we have the Revolver case. So again, it has the OG knives, and it also has stuff like the Royal Paladin as well as the Point Disarray. So I'm going to have to put it in the mid tier just because the skins are not that great, but the knives are pretty decent. Next up, we have the Recoil case. I think the Recoil case has amazing skins. The gloves, though, oh my gosh, the gloves, they suck. So again, I'm going to have to put this in the OK tier. There's so many OK cases here, but I mean, it is what it is. Next up, we have the Shadow case. Now, I really want to give this a WTF because of the Shadow Daggers. However, there is the kill confirmed and the Golden Coil in there, so I can't put it in the WTF tier. I'm going to have to put it into the Met tier. And next up, we have the Arms Deal 1 case, the most expensive case in the game. It has the AK-661, it has the OG knives, it has the AWP Lightning Strike. I cannot give this anything less than a stonks. And next up, we have the Dreams and Nightmares case. Amazing knives, pretty decent skins, although not the best. But I think this case deserves a great. I think this case deserves the great tier, because there's pretty good trade ups in here. The AK is pretty cool, and the knives are amazing. Next up, we have the Danger Zone case. Pretty bad knives. I mean, decent skins, but they're nothing super great. It is, however, pretty good for trade-ups, so I'm going to put it in the mid-tier. Next up, we have the Fracture case. Now, the Fracture case, I believe in it as an investment. The knives are pretty good. The skins are pretty good, so I think I'm going to put that in the great tier. And next up, we have the Bravo case. Now, the Bravo case, people are not going to love me for it. I'm not the biggest fan. It has some fun trade-ups. It has OG knives, obviously. It also has the Fire Serpent. But I don't like the Fire Serpent enough to put this in the stonks tier. I think we're going to have to settle with the Bravo case going into the great tier. And finally, the Broken Fang case. I love the Broken Fang case. I'm in love with the skins. Not the biggest fan of the gloves, but because I love the skins so much, it's going to have to go into the stonks tier. So that's my rating, and now let's go open some cases. Now, I'm sorry, I won't open a weapon case one. It's just too expensive. I can't afford to open one. Even, like, I have a 20% chance to make money back with the purples, but it's just not happening. So I'm going to open a Spectrum case, a Weapon Case 2, a Phoenix case, and a Broken Fang case. So I'll buy the cases and the keys, and I'll be back with you guys in a second. Well, here we are, guys. I just bought the cases and the keys. These 4 cases cost me $20. It's ridiculously expensive, and I am going to get railed, but let's get into this with the Spectrum case. So you want Decimator, Bloodsport, Neo-Noir, or a rare special item. I've only ever opened one knife and 0 pairs of gloves, so it would be nice to hit something good. But nah, we get the Xander. Alright, moving on to the second most expensive case. The Phoenix case. Again, I'm happy with the red line, the Asimov, or some gloves. So let's see what we're gonna get. Come on, just give me one decent item and I'm happy. Okay, Mac 10 Heat. It could have been a lot worse. It's minimal wear. That's some money back at least. We're already on the broken fan case. I'll be happy with any pink, any red, or some gloves. Here we go. Although, the Prince Ring would obviously be the nicer red to get. Let's see what we're gonna get. Come on, something good. Nah, man. Oh, it could have at least given me the exoskeleton. That looks like a good float, though. It's minimal wear. I take it back. It's trash. Well, here's the big guy. The weapon case 2. This alone cost me like $9 to open. So, honestly, any purple or above, I'm happy with. Just do not give me a blue. No blue, and I'm happy. Come on, here we go. Ooh, there goes a cold-blooded. Please. Okay, that's a purple. Okay, that's not bad. Please be double O. It is not double O, but it is factory new. You know what? I will take that. I didn't lose all of my money. It's not profit. That's only $8, so this is break even on that singular case after tax, but I will take it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one.